Do this before you start probate. Ready? Let's go. Welcome back to the channel featuring the leading probate real estate team in the greater Sacramento area. I'm Brendan Mohr, realtor and certified probate and trust specialist by the California Association of Realtors.
And I'm Bill Heyman. I'm a licensed California professional fiduciary, as well as I'm a licensed California real estate broker. And last but not least, I'm also a registered and bonded California legal document assistant, specializing in uncontested probate.
Now please like this video, subscribe to our channel. Want a no-cost probate service? Every day we help people save thousands of dollars and eliminate headaches with our one-of-a-kind probate administration service and real estate listing combo. If it's in California and real estate needs to be sold, you may qualify. So reach out. Our information is on the channel. We love your calls, texts, emails, and comments. Well, let's get into it. So it's what you should do before you start probate, before you even get to the process of filing that petition. These are the things you really need to do. First, don't wait. Get going. We talk about in a lot of other videos, right, Bill? Procrastinating may and often does cost estates a lot, especially if there's real estate involved. But that's for a different video. So get going. Now, Bill, what would you say about consulting with a professional probate service?
Sure, yeah. That's very, very important. A big decision. You want to decide how you're going to do the probate. Are you going to do it yourself? Are you going to possibly hire a experienced legal document assistant and professional fiduciary like myself? Or are you going to go hire an attorney? Very, very important to decide how you want to do that. If you've got an uncontested situation, I would suggest looking into a legal document assistant such as myself as your probate professional. Can save you a ton of money. But very important to decide what you're going to do, how you're going to approach the probate.
Now, while probate is a legal process, and we do recommend if you're in a contested situation, you want to talk to an attorney. If you ever feel like you need legal advice, you want to talk to an attorney. But there are lower cost options that you can consider, especially if everyone's getting along, no one's fighting. You just want to get through the process. And that's what Bill's service is, where it's a very, very low cost service where you get the whole probate done very quickly and smoothly and for a very low cost, sometimes at no cost, often at no cost if there's real estate involved. Now, the next thing to do before you start the process, you really want to think about who is going to represent your estate as far as what's called the personal representative. Right. Identify an executor, which would be named in a will, or an administrator.
Right, if there's no will, sure. Yeah.
Right, and now, even if you're named as the executor in the will, you don't actually have to be the personal representative. You can offer that up to somebody else.
Sure. But
you just want to figure out who that personal representative is.
Yeah, and it's really important that whoever the personal representative is, you want that person to have certain qualities and characteristics. First of all, you want them to be responsible. You want them to be honest. You want them to be trustworthy. Those are very, very, and you want them to be able to communicate well with all the different entities and people that they'll need to during the probate process. Even though mom may have named one of the children as the executor in the will, you may or may not want to go with that person. Again, it's very important who the personal representative is.
Yeah, plus it's a fair amount of work for the personal representative. And perhaps you're in a situation where maybe the family no one in the family wants to do it, and you want to hire a licensed professional fiduciary, something the bill does as well. They're licensed professional fiduciaries. They're bound to perform in the best interest of the estate.
Absolutely, yeah. You're bound by law as a professional fiduciary, and you're bound ethically to always do what's in the best interest of the estate and the heirs or beneficiaries.
So usually it's a family member, might be yourself watching this video, or you hire a licensed professional fiduciary, and you just have to figure out what's the best decision for your family. Now, gathering the necessary documents is something to do before probate. What would they need to gather, Bill?
Well, Obvious choices would be death certificate. If there is a will, you want to you want to have the original will that makes life easier rather than a lost will. You also want to try to gather all the information you can about the real estate. If you've got any information about a loan that's out on the real estate, any possible liens. If the real estate's been paid off, maybe you've got a copy of what's called the deed of reconveyance. That can be very helpful. But any real estate related docs, try to get those together.
You brought up a really good point there, and it's a little thing that Bill just said, deed of reconveyance. Something you've probably never heard of. We have a video on it, and it's just pretty common that sometimes when there's a mortgage, if you're dealing in a situation where a mortgage has been paid off, you need to check with the title company to make sure that it shows on record on title that it's been paid off. Because what used to happen was the mortgage company would send what's called a reconveyance deed to the borrower, and the borrower's job was to record it with the county. If it's not recorded with the county, then that mortgage is still on title, and there's an expensive process to remove it. And I don't want to get into the complication of it, but what I'm telling you is, don't throw away bank records. A lot of times people go through their loved one's house and just start throwing away boxes of old bank records. Anything that has to do with the mortgage, you want to keep those just in case that deed of reconveyance was mailed and they put it in a file. Now you might be in a situation where this doesn't even apply, or the mortgage company is still in effect. They still have a live mortgage, or the mortgage company actually recorded the reconveyance deed. This is what normally happens now.
Yeah, actually what Brendan is describing, it's a little more common with probate homes than I'll say regular home sales, because a lot of times with probate homes, you had mortgages that were paid off that were 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. And that's when sometimes you run into that situation.
And if you want to know more about that, we have a video on our channel called What is a Missing Reconveyance Deed? Something to that effect. Yeah, that's all great information. The last thing that you might want to do is, if there's real estate involved, hire the right realtor. Everybody knows a realtor, but not everybody knows a realtor who specializes in probate. Probate is a lot different and a lot more complex from a listing agent's perspective. So you really want to hire the right agent. And we have a great video on that called How to Hire a Probate Realtor. We're going to have it linked next. It includes 10 interview questions and the appropriate answers to ask a realtor for a probate sale. It has a downloadable list of those 10 questions, plus an additional 5 questions I don't even get to in that video. It'll appear right now, right in front of my face.